I'm Jade McNeil and welcome to the B Space podcast, your bi-weekly dose of business and property realness. No hype, no fluff, and definitely no BS. Just honest conversations about what it really takes to build something from nothing. Oh, hello. Welcome back to the B Space podcast. Today's episode, I really want to touch on a subject that is probably in a business and property development sense not spoken about very often, but is something that is at the forefront in a lot of people's world right now. It's July 2024, and we have and are about to step into the abyss of the school summer holidays. So, what that means for many people is that the juggle becomes very, very real. So in today's episode, I wanted to share my top 5 bits of kind of advice that's drawn from experience over the years to kind of, put out there, and potentially, somebody might hear this and think, if I just implement some of those, it will make a significant change to the juggle that I'm going through right now, with kids and being self-employed. So obviously, I'm the biggest fan ever of being self-employed and being independent, but it is hard. Like, it's really, really hard when, you run your own business and you get into the school holidays and your business doesn't stop. It just does not stop. In my house, my situation is that when the school holidays rock round, really, it's me that picks up the gauntlet and takes over the lion's share of the childcare, which obviously is fine. In our household, we've got multiple businesses. So I'm kind of responsible for looking after the B Space side and the property development. So we've got live projects, we've got 100 plus tenants, in and out. We've got student changeovers in July and August. We've got ongoing maintenance, cash flow to monitor. I've also got, 20 plus one-to-one clients. I have a household to run. I've got 2 kids, 2 dogs, and 2 horses. So there's a lot on my plate in terms of kind of support around me outside of my team that I employ. I don't have a lot, in all honesty. I don't have any grandparents around to support us. It's kind of me and the kids against the world in the holidays. We also have, my husband runs our core family business, which is our big construction business. So that is a bit of a beast. So he just, cracks on and does what he needs to do there. And I take over and really look after the children. However, everything I described before just doesn't stop. So I thought today what I would do is I would share my top 5 bits of advice to how, you can make it a bit easier on yourself. So like my number one thing is to get routine and structure into your day when you've got the children. So what do I mean by that? First thing really is looking at the day schedule. So for me, I really like to get everything I need to respond to action done really before the day is properly started. So for me, typically this is between 7 and 8 a.m., maybe 6:30 and 8 a.m. in the morning. This is because, my kids are a bit older. They're 7 and 9 now. So they're happy to just chill in bed, watch a bit of Netflix, go on their iPads, whatever that needs to be, have some breakfast in bed. And it just enables me to go, I have that time and I can, get through exactly what I need to do in that time, respond to people, action things, so on and so forth. And it just means that I can then go into the day and think, I've incrementally made a small step forward on that thing, or I've answered that, I'm on top of that. So routine's really important. Starting the day off in that regard really, really helps me. Having something planned with the children, kind of around the lunchtime period, whether we go to the park, we walk the dogs, we, go to swimming or some play place or meet some friends, whatever that might be, doing that, say from, 11 through till 4. So we're outside, we're being active, we're doing things, they're having a great time. And then if I need to, when we get home, I will allow them 1 hour of, like watching television, playing on the Switch, being on YouTube, whatever it is, that they need to do. They get that 1 hour, and then that then enables me to get on top of responding to the things that may have, arisen from earlier on in the day. So there's just two really key touch points, within my day where I can go, right, this is the time that I do the things. So that's really, really important. So my second point, to lead on to that, and this is, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's about the systems that I use and making sure that they're really slick. So, as you guys know, I love Slack, and I communicate with pretty much every key person in my life on Slack. So that system is fantastic because it enables me to go in, respond accordingly. I can track things. I can loop back into the conversation to remind myself. And if I've got a notification to respond to, then I can see that, and I know I can get to that. And I can manage it. My other sort of kind of non-negotiable on the system side for me, and I'll talk about this over and over, is having that real core to-do list. So just making sure that I am, understanding that to-do list, and it's live. So I use Microsoft To Do. There's loads of different kind of apps out there. It's really simple, but it enables me to keep on top of things. So I think, basic level, if you can keep on top of communication and you can keep on top of a to-do list, then you'll be okay. You'll be able to manage things a lot easier. Which leads me nicely onto my third thing, which is about priorities. So within, the to-do list that you've got, it's really understanding where your priorities lie. So for example, it might be, I really need to respond to the broker about a lender issue on an application. Like that's top priority. And just making sure that gets done at the start of the day, so then it can trigger a potential action that they might need some more information on towards the end of the day when I'm back online. But just understanding through my to-do list, my priorities I absolutely must get done are here. This episode of the B-Space podcast is kindly sponsored by the wonderful people at Landlord Furniture Co. Specialising in a huge range of high-quality bespoke furniture, Landlord Furniture Co. provides durable pieces designed to last in your rental properties. If you're searching for the perfect furniture to attract professional HMO tenants, or need more resilient pieces for your student accommodations, considering cost-effective furniture packs for a larger property, or looking for something more personalised to elevate your serviced accommodation brand, whatever your need, Landlord Furniture Co. will craft a solution for you. You can say goodbye to rubbish old flat packs and start investing in a luxurious experience for your tenants. Backed by a 3-year warranty and exceptional customer service, they really are the smart choice for any landlord or property developer out there who takes their properties, their tenants and their business seriously. So ready to transform your spaces with Landlord Furniture Co. and ensure that your investments stand out in the market? Visit Landlord Furniture Co. today at www.landlordfurnitureco.co.uk, or you can head to their showroom, which is in Oldham, or find them over on Instagram at Landlord Furniture Co. Now, let's get back to the episode. So, having that routine, having those systems in place, and then having those priorities kind of monitored through your to-do list is absolutely like such a way to give you, give you the ability to keep on top of things. But we also need to be super realistic here as well, right? Like at the end of the day, it's the school holidays. You're looking after kids and, being all things to everybody. You cannot operate at the levels that you are when you do have more time available to work on your business. So you've got to be realistic within those priorities, and the time that you have available. Like being realistic is just so important. And if something's going to take you longer than you would hope, then just make sure that those things that have to be answered are answered in the time that you've given yourself. Which leads me perfectly onto my fourth point, which is about communication. Be open and honest with those people in and around you that need to understand, look, it's the school holidays, I'm up against it. Like I speak to my business partners now, My clients know. And often people are in the same boat, right? Like they've got children and responsibilities or grandchildren that they're supporting with and looking after, whatever that may be. If you don't communicate, then how can they ever know? So just being crystal clear on that is, and transparent is really, really important. My fifth bit of a kind of key advice is, and I'm like, listen, you need to definitely hear this one. In the middle of all of this, what we've got going on, business stuff, looking after people, small people that constantly need snacks and constantly need entertaining, like we must find some time to carve out for ourselves because, keeping you in check, keeping you happy and healthy is so important. And I think that often, particularly women, have a way of just being at the bottom of the pile. And we just take more and more on in the school holidays and we try and function and operate at the levels that we do normally. And it's just not possible. It's just not possible. So my thing is, as you guys know, I'm a crazy horsey lady. So I have the chance to, not all the time in the school holidays, because I very often have to take the children with me to the stables, which means I actually can't ride, but I definitely have those points in the week where I'm like, no, I am going to do this thing by myself and get some time out. And that really helps me, relax, reconnect and so on, because it can be intense, right? It can be so intense just constantly being in that care mode, looking after everybody and keeping the house straight and tidy and all that fun stuff, that you do need something for you where you can just get a bit of time back. So like, that's such an important thing to say. And I would, really encourage anybody to find the thing, whatever it is, mine's obviously horse related, but whether it's going to yoga, going for a swim, going for a walk, listening to a podcast, but just in the schedule, putting you into the schedule, making you the priority just as much as going to soft play, right? Because we have to, that's what keeps us sane. That's what keeps us in check. So yeah, hopefully those kind of 5, short and sweet bits of advice from me are helpful to somebody out there. I wish I'd listened to this podcast 9 years ago. Because it would have really helped my kind of view of how I need to be as a self-employed mother during the school holidays, because it's such a switch up. And let me just say, it does feel such a switch up even for me. And I've got a really, really great core team that support me. I've got loads of systems. I've got amazing business partners. I've got an incredible partner. And I still find it hard. I do. I still find it hard because ultimately, you're constantly battling with that overriding sense of mum guilt, right? Mum guilt is it's so bad, isn't it? You feel like, oh, my kids are on devices too much. I've even shared with you guys, I let them go and have an hour on YouTube, and I feel guilty even saying it out loud. And I'm sure there's some people that may listen to this and will judge me for that. But you know what? I've got business to run. I've got bills to pay. And we've got to do what we've got to do. It's not like they're watching bloody Freddy Krueger. They're watching kids, slime each other and I don't know, all that rubbish garbage that they watch for 1 hour. And I'm very strict on, okay, time's up, pass over your devices. And actually what I've found with my children is it's good for them because they kind of decompress from the day and relax. And then we, get on with whatever we need to do next. But that mum guilt thing is it's real for everyone. It's definitely real for me. So don't feel, terrible for, for example, deciding to put your children into a holiday club. Like someone said to me yesterday, oh, what do you do with your kids in the school holidays? I'm like, I've got a really good holiday club. That said, my daughter, who is 9 years old, she's sensitive. Indy is sensitive. And even though she's gone to this holiday club for 5 years, and prior to that, the women that run it, who are so nice, ran the nursery where she went, for 4 years. So she knows everyone really well. She still cries every single time on the first time she goes. And I drive away and feel like an absolute failure because I feel like, oh my God, I'm ruining my child by sending her to a holiday club where they bake and make things. I mean, the level of crafting they do in this place versus what I'm going to do at home, or I mean, I do it, but I hate it. Hate crafting stuff, is next level. And you know what? Every time I pick them up, every time I can't get them out. And every time they've had an amazing day and they come out with all stuff that they've made and they've been with other kids their own age. And every single time I think that was a good decision for them. But still, each time she goes initially, I get tears and she clings to me, and she's 9. So, I absolutely do live in that that place of mum guilt and understand it. But, when you're self-employed, you've got to kind of dig deep and think about the bigger picture that you are creating for these little people. I guess I just want to wrap this episode up by saying, be kind to yourselves. Just be kind. No one's doing a perfect job. Like, it is very intense, for me also. Just be kind and be present as much as you can be. Like, this is, one of the reasons why I slice my time up the way I do, in the morning and then around 4-ish in the afternoon. It's because I do not want to be that parent that's always on the phone in front of the kids. Like that, I hate that. I hate to see that. In my mind, I've not worked as hard as what I've worked to build a really strong lifestyle business with the team that I've got for me to then be on apps all day when my kids are off school holidays. So yeah, that's really important for me to just be present when I've got them. But it would be easy for me to allow it all to merge into one if I didn't put that structure. I didn't have those systems, I didn't have that routine, and I didn't communicate that well to those around me. So hopefully, this short but sweet episode from me will help somebody out there. But just know that you're not alone if you're listening to this and thinking, my head's going to pop off my shoulders. I don't know how I'm going to survive the next 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, that'd be me. I'll be there also. But yeah, thanks for checking in with me, guys. And just remember, at the end of the day, we're running businesses, right? Whether you're building a property portfolio and you listen to this, or, you're scaling up a business, like self-employment, doing the juggle, it is not easy, but you're absolutely not alone while you're doing it. That's a wrap for another episode of the Be Space podcast. I've been your host, Jade McNeil, property developer, mentor, and business coach. Don't forget to subscribe on your favourite platforms. And until next time, remember, don't believe the hype and always keep it real.